Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on relationship frequencies, we're going to look at your relationship with your grandfather. We did grandmother last week, and that was quite the interesting reading. So we'll see what it's like this week with your grandfather. So I do set the intention that these videos reach those who need them when they need them. So if this video did reach you, doesn't mean it is meant for you. However, it may only be part of the video that is meant for you. It may not be the whole message. So you can just take what resonates, just leave the rest behind. It doesn't matter. So we're going to ask first, what is the energy between you? So sort of your relationship energy. What is the energy between the, that's more than one card dropping out there. Okay, what is the energy between you, please and thank you? Oh, there we go. Oh, isn't that nice? We actually had this one in the grandmother reading. It was not the energy between, though. Okay, so this is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is all about nostalgia, innocence, reunion, right? In a romantic reading, it could be like, someone from the past, one of your exes or one of your friends from the past is coming forward now, going to ask you out, or, you're going to go out for coffee. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, right? A friend from the past, friend from high school, all of a sudden they're calling you up and you're going out. And so, but this is all about sort of like remembering childhood, looking back, the innocence of things, being generous. If you think of that, sort of happy, innocent joy of childhood when you just ran out and played and you didn't have bills to pay and you didn't worry about what time bedtime was at and you didn't worry about what you had to do the next day, right? You're very much just living in the moment. Oh, I'm doing this right now and this is what I'm doing. And so this is, in relation to the energy between you and your grandfather, it's very much like you guys both have these memories of your past. You both think of, your grandfather's thinking of you and watching you grow up as a child, and you're thinking about being a child and the different things you did with your grandfather, the different memories you have, and everybody's looking back on this as like a nice relationship, like looking back thinking, wow, like I miss that, or I wish I could go back to that, or I enjoyed that time, right? Like you're looking back on your past in a very positive light, kind of sort of wishing you could go back there, or wishing you could at least, visit there. And so I would say that this is very much an energy of, just having good memories between you two. So when you were a child, I would suspect that, your grandfather did a lot with you, or maybe it wasn't a lot, but did, a special certain thing. You only saw him once in a while, but every time you saw him, you guys would go out for a drive into the country and get an ice cream, or, whatever it is. There's these, that just gave me goosebumps. One of you, it definitely did that out there. And so, it's sort of like just having these happy past memories, like reflecting on things and thinking like, this is good. So, this is all good energy. So how do you currently feel about your grandfather? How do you currently feel about your grandfather? Ooh, okay, almost got a bunch. Let's see. How do you currently feel about your grandfather? Oh, okay. And I'm just going to try and get some of this light. Sorry, you may hear my door moving a bit. Sometimes it just depends on the time of day. I'll start off and everything will be clear. I am going to try and invest in a new camera, but I gotta wait a little bit to gather that money together. But anyways, okay. So you feel towards them. This is a very collaborative teamwork, right? The Three of Pentacles is the apprenticeship card, the working together card, the collaborating, the gaining skills, sharing skills, progressing forward. So it's like you have your journeyman and you have your apprentice. And the journeyman has all these skills that they've developed all over the years. They've got their, very what do you call it? Like expertise. They have a high expertise within this field, but then you have the apprentice who's just coming out of school, and they maybe have the new ideas, the new things that people are trying, right? And together, they work together. This isn't like, I'm telling you what to do, or you suck, you suck. No, it's we're working together. I am looking at your old stable ideas that have worked in the past, and then you're listening to my new ideas that might help us reinvent it or make it go faster, or whatever. And we're working together to build something together, to build, to build our house, or to build this relationship, or whatever. So this is like, you feel towards your grandfather that you have this real sort of collaboration, working together, helping each other out. Maybe they helped you out by paying for school, and you help them out by mowing their lawn every day, right? It's this working together relationship. And let's see how your grandfather currently feels about you. Oop, too many cards. We just would like one, please. Just one card, please, and thank you. Maybe I need to slow down, not be so impatient. It'll come. Oh, we got two. Let's take them. Okay. So interesting, they're both reversed. Ooh, I am so interested in this, just because this came up in the grandma reading, and so did this one. Now, it was upright. It was the grandmother, if I'm remembering this correctly. You can go check the reading from last week on grandma. But it was grandma whose feelings were walking away, and this way it's reversed. So that's quite interesting. So definitely, if this, if the reading for last week with your grandma applied to you, and now this reading is applying to your grandpa, and they are actually together, like from the same family, it may be that although your grandmother feels like walking away, right? Your grandfather's like, I ain't walking away from nothing. But so anyways, let's start. Let's ignore the grandma reading. We're focused on this one. So reversed Ace of Cups, that's interesting, because that's actually about feeling emotionally blocked, or being repressed, or feeling empty, or emotionally drained, missing opportunities. And so it's funny, like it's like your grandfather feels like maybe you're not getting together enough, right? Maybe there's not enough loving energy. So although you have this, like, because this is cups too, right? This is all emotions. This is I love you card. Like, so maybe there is this loving feeling, but your grandfather feels like he doesn't express that enough, right? He doesn't show you the love enough. He's sort of, men and older men, right? Generational. You don't show your emotions. You don't hug people. You don't say I love you, right? Like you go out, you make the money, and that's how you show people you love them. And so I would say that maybe your grandfather feels that like he's not able to express his love for you, how he actually does love you. He feels like, I love you. I mean, there's this loving energy between you, but I can't express it how I want to. I can't show you how I want to, but there is this love there. And then when we have the reverse Eight of Cups, that's about like avoiding things, or fear of change, or being in this stagnation, not being able to move forward on stuff, right? So here, like, even though we've got the Eight of Cups and they're full and this is great, I'm still willing to walk away from it. I'm still willing to leave it behind. I'm still willing to search for something new. But this way, it's like, I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave my cups. I don't want to walk away from this situation, or I'm scared to walk away from this situation. And so you put these two cards together, and it's like your grandfather feels towards you that he's scared. He doesn't know how to express his love fully. He doesn't know how to show you his love fully, even though he really does love you. So there's nothing bad in this whole situation at all. We have these great memories. I remember them, both of you. You're both remembering these great memories. You feel the two of you really work well together, and you have this great teamwork, collaboration. Maybe you do woodworking. Your grandpa does woodworking, so you go over to his garage every once in a while, and you guys do it together, right? You have this great collaboration, this great working relationship. But your grandfather just feels like, he can't express to you, maybe you mow his lawn every week. Maybe you shovel his walk in the winter when it's snowed. And he really appreciates that, and really feels like you care for him so much, but he can't express that to you, right? He's afraid. He doesn't have, not that he doesn't have the capability, he doesn't have the practice, right? It feels different when you first do something different that you don't normally do. You're not practiced in it, right? If you've never gone up to one of your grandchildren and given them a hug and said I love you, that feels awkward and weird. And so he doesn't know how to get past this awkward, weird, I want to tell you I love you, but I can't quite express it. But I don't think that's really affecting your relationship, even though he might not be overtly telling you exactly how he feels about you, exactly how much he appreciates you. It doesn't seem like it's actually affecting the relationship at all. So let's get some advice for you, please. Let's get some advice on this relationship, please. There we go. That's some advice popping out. And, reverse Knight of Wands. So the reverse Knight of Wands is about being reckless or angry or just scattered everywhere, being impulsive, taking unnecessary risks. So your advice here, I would say, would kind of be like to just sort of not be overly impulsive, but don't be afraid to sort of take some actions forward. Like, this way I have this spark, I got this spark in me and I'm driving straight for it and I've got all this energy and confidence in it. And this way is like, either it can be two ways, right? This is a problem with reversals, and it's hard when it's a general reading and it's not, so I can't tailor it specifically to one person. But it can either be that you're not doing this moving forward, you're not driving forward, or it can be you're being too impulsive, right? You're just jumping on things before you have all the information. And so your advice is really to finding that balance, right? Like make sure that you're not stuck in this lack of doing things, like if you keep meaning to go see your grandfather, I'm meaning to go see him, don't get stuck in that. Make sure you take the actions to go do it, right? But also make sure you're not like just calling up your grandfather and being like, I'm coming on Thursday. No. I'm calling up my grandfather and being like, hey, I want to come on Thursday. I have some time. Are you available, right? We're not trying to push ourselves on him, but we also need to be there, if that makes sense. So we'll get another piece of advice here, though. Another piece of advice, please. Ooh. Yeah, it was coming. And reverse King of Swords. A lot of reversals in this. So our reverse King of Swords is all about being like a tyrant or manipulative, or being like overly cruel, lacking empathy, abusing your power, being cold, right? When you're upright, it's like, I'm logical, I'm cutting through, I'm getting to the truth, I have integrity, I'm standing in my power. And so this way is like, there's no integrity, or I'm abusing my power, or I'm, being cold towards them. And so you take that, I'm being cold towards them, you put it with this right here. And I think it's about, just understanding, right? There's a lack of empathy. So really the advice is just have an understanding for who they are and where they're coming from and how they are trying to express their love. It doesn't seem to me that's been necessarily a problem in your mind, but just have this understanding that they do love you so much, even if they do seem cold, even if they do seem like they're not a lovey-dovey, right? Even if you're like, well, I know we get along as friends, but I don't really think they actually like love me or really care for me. Well, no, they absolutely do, right? So just understand that they might have, spending time with you in the wood shop may be the way they show their love. Teaching you how to build a birdhouse, teaching you how to build a wall might be their way of showing you they care. Like, I care enough about you, I'm taking my time to show you this and to do this with you. This is how I express my love. So just try and get some understanding of, how they express their love, and that they're not trying to be cold towards you, and just ensure that, you're not having these expectations of how they need to express things or how they need to show up for you, and you're just sort of accepting them for, you know, who they are, how they express who they are. And I'm going to get a message for you for sure. Let's get a message for you for your relationship with your grandfather here. But I don't think this is bad at all. I think you just need to make sure we're not jumping the gun, not making assumptions, right? Like this way we're cutting through to get the truth. So make sure we're not just making assumptions about things. Oh, my grandfather did it this way or didn't do it that way because, you know, they don't really love me. Okay, we've had 3 messages pop out, but this one popped out right on me. Be authentic. Anything else is just exhausting. Okay, that's one everybody can be by, but just be authentic, be you. Don't try and be something for your grandfather, right? Just don't try and act a certain way for your grandfather. Don't try and, you know, pretend you're someone who you're not. Just be who you are, because they're your grandfather and they love you no matter what, even if they're not exactly able to show it the way you want. And speak up and speak out. Let your voice be heard loud and clear. Okay, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid for you to say, I love you. You know, don't be afraid to say what you need to say. Don't be afraid to say, hey, Grandpa, can I have a hug? Like maybe he really wants to hug you. And he just, you know, it's too awkward. How do I go up and give you a hug? Well, if you just speak up and go, hey, Grandpa, can I get a hug? And just walk up to them and hug them. It might be the greatest thing that's ever happened in their entire life, right? But you were too nervous. You were worried to do it. But if you speak up, let yourself be heard. This is what I want. This is what I like. This is how I want our relationship to be. You may find that your grandpa's like, oh my gosh, me too. I just didn't know how to do it. It felt so awkward. And do something kind for someone without any expectation. Okay, so do something kind for your grandfather without expecting anything in return. Go mow his lawn. Go show up with a few groceries. You know, whatever you want. That sort of thing. Just make sure you're going to be you. You're not trying to be anybody else around your grandfather. You're going to speak up about what you need or what you want or what you think, but we're not going to be overly harsh. We're not going to be impulsive. We're not going to just jump on him. Your grandfather says something off color and you're like, ah, Grandpa. No. You can speak up without being like, ah, right? You just be like, oh, Grandpa, nowadays we don't really talk like that. Like we don't say those kind of things. That's considered rude now. That's considered racist. That's considered bigoted, whatever it is, right? And then do something kind for them. You'll find that they really do appreciate it. I mean, they're definitely loving the memories of what's going on here. So I hope this message helped you today. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.